All right, Brooke, it's amazing to see you and Lucy selected together because you can explain it better. You've both got babies, you're both back. It must be amazing for you to be able to work this in together as a crew.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a stroke of luck that we're here, both back here, both in the same boat, obviously both with kids. Every year you go through the same selection procedure to get back into the boats. We've had tests and everything thrown at us to get to here, but yeah, it's really exciting that we've managed to do it. Now that we are together, there's so many positives. I guess we can share like the throes of motherhood and everything that's challenging us and throwing at us. We've both come from a similar background. We've spent similar years rowing, so we're both physiologically at a similar stage. Then as well as throwing the pregnancy on top of that and having children, it's a lot we can support each other with and get the same support that we both need.
Do you ever get down to the end of the lake there when you finish your U3 row and sort of you're sitting there and one of you will come up with some kind of mothering question, or does that ever happen?
Yeah, I think a lot of our chat outside of the rowing talk is definitely about what the kids are up to and how they slept and what are they eating now and their next milestones they're hitting. We're going into Lucerne for 10 days, in and out for the World Cup, and then back here training. So Kira's coming with me and Rupert's staying at home with Lucy's partner and parents. So my parents are going to meet me in Europe, so I'm taking care to have that support over there with her.
And all this obviously comes now with the full support of Rowing New Zealand with the kids. And is there some kind of help in terms of getting people overseas to help you look after your children while you're there?
Yeah, Rowing New Zealand's been amazing and made sure that we've had the support we need, as well as even adjusting the tour for us, for example. The fact that it didn't logistically work out for us to stay overseas, so they've managed to get us home on a flight and then back over, which for me, I think if I'm happy, I'm going to row better. So if I can get that and not feel stressed or worried about what Kira's doing, I'm going to row and perform better. So it's been really positive. Yeah, the double's definitely my favourite boat. Just something about sculling the two oars through the water and having someone to do it with is sort of my favourite feeling that I've found in a boat. And I don't think I would be back if Paris wasn't the goal. Even right back to the Everson Dow twins, before I even rowed, I admired them, and I can't believe that I get to row the double. And again, it's just a feeling thing. I just like having someone to work with. You sort of feed off each other's energy and pick up the boat together, and it's just a bit fun. And then I guess doing it yourself, as if I was in a single.
All right, Ella Kossel. Yes. You've made it. You've made an elite boat. Mm-hmm. How does that feel to you?
It's a huge privilege. I'm really excited, I'm very honoured, but I know this is just the first step in the mission that we're on.
Tell me about your racing season at Washington.
Yeah, so being here over the summer I think set me up really well to return back to America, and I was able to take this kind of racing mentality that I learnt through the girls here and really apply it to the 8s. Obviously it's a big boat and that was a bit of a challenge getting back into it, but I had heaps of support from the girls and the coaches to join back in.
Hey, but listen, you ended up in the stroke seat of that UW crew.
Yeah.
And you guys weren't far away from Stanford, were you? Tell me about that, because that was quite a good race.
Yeah, no, it was an epic
stroking
race.
It.
Yeah, I think I really appreciated having all the girls trust me in that seat, and I banked a lot of my experience here from New Zealand to carry me through that, and took a lot of inspiration from the girls that I've been rowing with here, so Phoebe, Jackie and Davina. I kind of took their mentalities and I was like, okay, I can apply that in this 8, in this stroke seat, and I just wanted to lead my crew as well as I could, and I knew they had my back through that, which really helped.
You think you were going to be eligible, or did you think there was a chance you're going to end up sitting in a straight 4 with these 3?
I knew the standard was going to be super high. They all went to the Olympics in 2021 to Tokyo, so I knew I would be chasing their level consistently. I think going back to the States and having some time in a bigger boat to properly learn how to row on bow side really helped me, and it gave me the confidence to come back here and just absolutely send it in the races to earn my spot into the boat. every row we learn something new and we improve on something, which is awesome to have such exponential improvement. And I think that it's going to come with time together.
But your parents live just over there. You get in a boat every morning to come to work. So tell me about how the Cossel Hub is over there at the moment.
The Cossel Hub is good. I mean, I made the team, so they're very stoked for me, and they've been really supportive of me during this time coming back and just trying to make the team in the last few weeks. So it really helps having them just across the lake, and being able to zoom back and forth every day is awesome, and it's kind of entertaining, to be honest. And you know, they got to watch all the seat racing we did and all the 2Ks we've done in the last week or so. They up there cheering for us. My dad whistles out. I asked him to whistle at 650 meters to go. So every time I hear a whistle, I know that's him, and I give a bit of a push for him, for my family up there, because I know they're watching.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
what's the whistle sound like? Can you do the whistle?
I can't whistle. He does a big loud, like to hear it across the water with the wind and stuff it's impressive, but I can't do that. Ideally, the next few years would be a couple Olympic cycles at least. Ideally Paris, obviously, that's the first goal, and then I'm really excited for the 1500s at LA. I think that suits me quite well. I'm quite a powerful athlete, so I'm excited to have a shorter race. And then, I mean, the ultimate goal would be to finish out my rowing career in Brisbane, because that's near where I was living in Australia, so that would be kind of a full circle moment.
Are you going to be able to race with that here?
Oh yeah, I've finessed the ponytail. It doesn't get in my eyes. I make sure I have my Oakleys on, so there's no hair in my eyes. But no, it's at a perfect length where it doesn't get in my way. But it means my mum and dad can see me whenever they're watching racing. It's easy to spot.
The Cossel Hub.
Yeah, the place to be.
So you've been to under 23 world champs, but now, so you've had a break. Tell me, what has the step up been like coming into this elite group now? How have you managed it?
Yeah, it definitely has been quite a big step up, especially coming back from being on break or having a bit of a rest. And I guess it's just been like quite a challenge trying to keep up with everyone who's done it before, and I've just been, just enjoying the ride and just trying to keep up as best as possible. I think being a little bit older now, having that break, my body's been able to handle the loading a lot better than what I anticipated it to be. So the big thing for me was I always wanted to develop my professional career outside of sport. So in 2020 with COVID and the world slowing down, I decided to take a break from rowing, finish my degree and get a job. And so I've been working at Deloitte now since 2021. I'm a senior HR advisor. I got promoted at the end of last year, and then here I am now, still balancing it part-time with rowing. So I think it's still quite a new thing that we're trying to navigate, athletes having a little bit more outside than just their sport. It's been, Rowing New Zealand have been so supportive, and it's always just been an ongoing conversation with how the balance is going and making both fit well. So it was actually very hard coming back. A lot of like, what am I doing? This is so hard. I'm so weak. But over time, you'd be amazed how quickly it comes back, and how much you can improve. So
And tell me about that double. How's that going with Kate?
It's good, I'm really excited about it. We click really well, we're good mates, and so we're just excited to see how it goes. We're racing World Cup 3, and then we're sitting in kind of a reserve spot. So at the moment we'll be going to World Champs as reserves, but we'll see what happens. My parents are very involved. They've been to every under 23 World Champs, but they're not going to come this year, so but they'll be following along,
Stella Clayton-Green,
Hello.
you've always got a big smile on your face, right?
You can't be sad here.
No, you
Happy
can't
to be
be.
here.
So you must be even happier that you have made a boat.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about that, because this pier, pretty exciting by the look of it.
I am very excited. So I'm with Kat Layburn in the pier, and I think we can do some great stuff, so it'll be cool. named for World Cup 3 at the moment and looking to just put a line in the sand really, see how we stand. And she's a spectacular pair rower. She was in the 4 last year. And she's great at rowing pairs. I think she has a great finesse and long, lengthy stroke, which I just can sit in front of her and she can hang behind me and just sit with me and we can just go fast. And that's simple as that, really.
But a big change for you too, because
Yes.
you've gone from sculling to sweep.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy transition. So
Yeah.
tell me about the transition.
Yeah.
And then tell me how did the transition come about?
Yeah.
What's the why?
Yeah, so I was sculling, so went across overseas in the women's quad last year, and then came back into summer squad this year sculling, and yeah, was mixing around with the girls, doing doubles and stuff, and kind of had always wanted to do a little bit of dabbling in the pair, but hadn't really done too much. And then I went in a pair with Jackie Gowler. She took me out, thank goodness. And it was all good. It was all right. I was a little bit. I felt like was trying to write with my left hand a little bit, but but got out there, did a pair, and then did trials on bow side, and got into the squad from there. And then went back to my home, to my roots. I've done a bit of stroke sliding back in 23s. I did a season of stroke sliding in 04. So I went back and just felt really natural and just kind of felt like I could really bring something to a pair that when I was with people, and kept going, and now I'm in the pair. So it's been great. Yeah.
So you said you went back to your roots. You
Yeah.
went home. What, did you go back to the Hauraki Plains? And
No,
and down?
back to my
Back
roots
here.
of stroke sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did, in my first season of rowing when I was at Hauraki Plains College, I did an under 15 4, and I think we maybe got third in the B final or something, so humble beginnings.
That's positive.
Yeah, so hopefully, look, I'll be trying to beat that when I'm overseas at World Champs, but yeah, in a pair.
Inheriting quite a big
Yes.
challenge, I guess,
Yeah.
from Kerry and Grace.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me, describe the feeling of not inheriting that boat, but earning the right to row in that pair. What does it to you?
It feels, really special. Like, even when I was sculling, I have always looked up to those girls, and I think they're a spectacular level of class and display of pair rowing in New Zealand and in the world. And I think, like, I was fortunate enough to be in the building when they were here last year, and I think just their processes and everything, I definitely looked up to them and kind of tried to emulate that, and you try to emulate that as a younger rower, and they were just pure class. We've come from a rich history of pair rowing in rowing New Zealand, and I think that's like, having that behind me is kind of like also helping drive me, and like feeling like we can do this and we can do something cool, which is really special and exciting.